Have you ever wondered what could happen if gratitude became the heartbeat of your everyday? Science and spirituality both point us to the life-changing magic of genuine thankfulness, yet so many drift through life focusing on what's missing instead of what overflows. What if the secret to boundless prosperity lies not in what you have, but in how deeply you appreciate it? In this book, you'll discover how a daily practice of giving thanks doesn't just transform your attitude, it can unlock a wellspring of abundance you never imagined was waiting for you. Each chapter reveals powerful practical steps to help you welcome more joy, wealth, and fulfillment into your life right now. Daily Thanks, Daily Abundance, Unlock Limitless Prosperity, written and published by Intentional Prosperity. Chapter 1, Awakening Daily Gratitude. What if the first thought you had each morning shaped the entire course of your day? Imagine waking not to anxiety or stress, but to a deep, steady sense of thankfulness pulsing quietly within you. This isn't some far-off fantasy, it's a shift that can truly change everything. All too often, life sweeps us into relentless routines where worries about the future and regrets about the past cloud every sunrise. Many people stumble out of bed weighed down by to-do lists, disappointing memories, or a general sense that what's missing matters more than what's present. The magic of gratitude can feel foreign if you've been trained by habit or circumstance to focus on gaps rather than gifts. The result is a quiet ache, an invisible emptiness that lingers despite outward achievements. No matter how much we collect, achieve, or cross off our lists, fulfillment escapes us if we don't first awaken our gratitude for all that already exists within and around us. The challenge for so many is that gratitude feels passive or even forced in a world that values hustle and accomplishment above all else. You might even wonder, how can I feel thankful when I wake up tired, worried, or behind? It's easy to confuse thankfulness with a mere social nicety, reserved for moments when everything is perfect or for quick pleasantries after small favors. Yet the true power of gratitude comes alive when it becomes our starting point, our very foundation for each day, rather than an afterthought. Stepping into a habit of gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's hardships or pretending everything is flawless. Instead, it means opening your eyes a little more each morning to small miracles, signs of life, change, comfort, or the simple privilege of having another day to experience possibility. Here is where everything can turn around. Picture starting every morning by searching for even the tiniest reasons to feel thankful. The warm light slipping through your window, a memory that makes you smile, a comfortable bed, the chance to try again. Instead of waking with a mind racing to all you lack or need to fix, you gently retrain your awareness toward abundance. This is awakening daily gratitude, an active choice to honor what is present before you reach for what is next. Such a practice, even when begun with the smallest step, holds the power to shift not just your mornings but the lens through which you see your entire life. You move from dwelling on scarcity to recognizing the richness that quietly exists all around you. By cultivating this new way of beginning each day, burdens often start to feel lighter. Stress loosens its grip as you discover that even on difficult days, pockets of beauty and opportunity remain. When you awaken daily gratitude, negativity has less room to take root because you create mental space for optimism and hope. This transformation is the promise that gratitude offers, not a guarantee that every day is perfect, but a steady assurance that every day, no matter its challenges, contains something worth honoring. Living with this perspective triggers a cascade of benefits: a more peaceful mind, better relationships, greater resilience, and an energetic magnetism that invites even more abundance into your life. When gratitude becomes a habit, every morning becomes an open invitation to grow, heal, and recognize life's generosity. Feeling truly thankful first thing, before the rush and noise settle in, grounds you in self-compassion and possibility. It sets a new tone, one where lack is no longer your guiding force, but instead, appreciation guides you determinedly into the day ahead, full of hope and far more capable of receiving whatever goodness lies waiting for you. The real beauty of awakening daily gratitude lies in the simple, repeatable steps that seamlessly fit into even the busiest morning. Start by taking just one quiet moment before you rise each day. Before your feet touch the floor, pause and ask yourself, what's one thing, no matter how small, that I can genuinely appreciate right now? On a hectic morning, it could be the softness of your sheets, the smell of fresh air drifting through the window, or simply the ability to breathe deeply. Some people begin their routine with a gratitude journal on the nightstand, jotting down 3 reasons for thankfulness right after awakening. Others choose to set a gentle alarm reminder labeled Gratitude First, ensuring a few undistracted minutes to focus inward before any digital notifications pull their awareness outward. Rather than making this process a rigid rule, treat it as an experiment. There's no single right way, only what feels natural and sustainable for you. For example, think of Monica, a mother of 2 with an overwhelming job and harried mornings. She found that setting aside just 3 minutes to sip her morning coffee while silently listing things that brought her joy transformed the energy of her entire household. The children felt her calmer presence and chaos faded into connection. Or consider David, once a self-identified night owl, perpetually groggy and pessimistic at sunrise. By building a daily habit of gratitude, like simply looking at past travel snapshots pinned beside his bed and giving thanks for those journeys, he noticed that hope and motivation subtly bloomed, giving him a more resilient mindset in facing the day's inevitable challenges. These real shifts remind us that gratitude is not reserved for easy mornings. It becomes your anchor on tough ones too. Applying these steps regularly plants the seeds for remarkable change. Your brain gradually becomes primed to seek the positive, not because life is always easy, but because you've trained yourself to notice the hidden abundance all around. The first reward is emotional, a sense of lightness and optimism that takes root even amid stress. This internal shift often expands outward. Relationships can blossom as gratitude sweetens your words and softens your reactions toward others. Even setbacks are viewed through a gentler lens, as you instinctively look for lessons or silver linings rather than spiraling into frustration. Over time, this daily effort creates a compound effect, making you more receptive to new opportunities and far less vulnerable to anxiety over what's beyond your control. Your mornings gain purpose and meaning, making each sunrise an invitation to grow richer in spirit. To make this practice part of your life, challenge yourself to a gratitude ritual starting tomorrow. Set aside 5 minutes as you wake to write, whisper, or simply think of 3 things you're thankful for. If you want to deepen your experience, add a note on why each one means something to you. Watch how this brings warmth and meaning to your answers. Consider this a small daily investment that pays exponential dividends. The journey of awakening gratitude is not a competition or a chore. It is a lifelong process of nurturing your view of the world. Every day, seek out new things to appreciate. Each small step is a victory, reshaping not just your mornings, but your character and capacity for joy. With a new gratitude lens awakened, you're primed for the next level, noticing and celebrating the abundance already present in your life. Get ready, because in the following chapter, we'll explore how rooting yourself in present abundance will free you from the anxiety of not enough and gently shift your entire mindset toward prosperity. Remember to stay connected with our intentional prosperity community so you never miss an opportunity to reflect, learn, or grow. Leave your thoughts and experiences to inspire others, and please share any insights as you journey through these chapters. Chapter 2: Rooting in Present Abundance. If you paused for a moment right now and looked all around you, could you see how much abundance already exists in your life? Or would your mind instantly drift to everything that's missing? Most of us have been conditioned to scan for gaps, the things that haven't yet arrived, the dreams left pending, or the items we believe will one day complete us. This mindset isn't your fault. It's woven into the fast pace and endless noise of modern life. We are constantly nudged to compare, to chase, to measure ourselves by shifting standards outside our control. With every scroll, ad, or overheard conversation, a new desire is planted, and each one whispers that you are not quite enough until you achieve more, own more, or become more. This relentless focus on what's just out of reach keeps true contentment always in the distance, held out like a prize for a race that never ends. Every day, countless people feel this quiet sense of lack, even while standing amidst love, safety, or small luxuries they once longed for. Some wake in a comfortable home but ache for a bigger one, sitting at a table with nourishing food but grumbling over missed flavors or bigger feasts seen in someone else's story. Others pour themselves into work, gaining promotions or praise, yet still sense a void that no title or salary seems able to fill. In friendships and relationships, the longing tends to shift too. Intimacy and warmth can be overshadowed by jealousy or the envy of more perfect connections glimpsed on screens. Even those with financial stability or social standing feel a background hum of unmet expectations, quietly eroding gratitude for the present moment. So, what if there was a way to break this cycle and actually root yourself in the wealth already woven through your life? The shift is not about pretending there are no wants or future goals, nor does it require silencing every ambition. Instead, it comes from pausing to really see and honor what is right here, right now, allowing yourself to actually experience the richness surrounding you each day. This practice, called rooting in present abundance, invites you to anchor your awareness in what's real and available at this exact moment. It takes courage to step outside the current of always wanting and choose, instead, to pay close attention to the gifts within arm's reach. In this space, comparison loses power because your happiness no longer lives in someone else's story or a tomorrow that is not guaranteed. By practicing rooting in present abundance, you open the door to a radically different feeling of security, possibility, and joy. Instead of measuring your life by what's missing, you start measuring it by the goodness you already possess, however small it seems. This shift is powerful because it is deeply grounding. You find greater freedom and resilience, not because circumstances are perfect, but because your viewpoint has changed. Your sense of prosperity begins to grow organically from within, leading to more gratitude, better relationships, and a calm confidence that radiates from being content even as you continue to grow. This is the core of lasting improvement, truly feeling whole and prosperous in the now. When you plant yourself in the abundance you already have, you uncover what is most precious, and you give yourself the foundation to welcome so much more. To truly root yourself in present abundance, start by deliberately shifting your focus away from what is missing and toward what fills your life right now. Each morning, before the world's demands pull at your attention, try a gentle mindfulness exercise. Look around your living space and consciously notice 3 things that bring you comfort or joy. It may be something as simple as a favorite cup, the warmth of sunlight through the window, or even the familiarity of your favorite book. This practice might feel subtle at first, but the more you name and acknowledge these gifts, the more your awareness of abundance will grow. The act of noticing turns a fleeting comfort into lasting appreciation, making ordinary moments sparkle with new meaning. One helpful approach is to pause several times a day and do a literal abundance inventory. When you eat a meal, take an extra minute to savor the taste and remember a time when this food may have been a treat for you. During a walk, observe the details of your surroundings, the color of the sky, the scent of trees, the sounds of birds, or the feeling of movement in your body. When you interact with loved ones, focus on their laughter, their presence, or a small act of kindness done for you, no matter how routine. Imagine Lisa, who once spent mornings scrolling through social media and envying the lives of others. By setting her phone aside and starting a daily grounding gratitude walk, she soon noticed how rich her life was with simple pleasures she had always overlooked. She reported feeling more energized and peaceful. Her patience for stressful moments grew, and her relationships became warmer because she was fully present. Sometimes the practice of rooting in abundance means celebrating areas of your life that have grown over time, even if change was slow or unremarkable. Take Anthony, whose career seemed stagnant compared to his high-achieving friends. He decided to track progress not by promotions, but by recalling the small skills and insights gained each month. Seeing his steady improvement gave him confidence and helped dissolve feelings of inadequacy that kept him from recognizing how abundant his life already was. As people learn to acknowledge this progress, they begin to move through the world with a lighter heart and greater optimism. Work feels less stressful and more meaningful. Daily routines become moments to recharge, and gratitude starts to take root deeper than surface-level affirmation. New opportunities naturally flow your way as your mindset opens to the consistent wealth that surrounds you. For your growth, challenge yourself to begin an abundance journal tonight. Write down 5 things, from the mundane to the magical, that enrich your present experience. As you repeat this daily, you'll begin training your mind to see what is good and available, eventually making it second nature to respond to life with appreciation rather than anxiety. See if you can maintain this practice for a week, then notice how your sense of ease and satisfaction gradually expands. Remember, anchoring in today's abundance is not an endpoint, but rather a foundation for ongoing transformation. You are building a new way of seeing that will empower every chapter of your journey. As you become more rooted in your everyday prosperity, you'll naturally bump into the next challenge, discovering and clearing those inner blocks that seem to limit how much abundance you can actually receive. In the coming chapter, we'll explore practical tools to identify and remove those obstacles, helping you take your journey toward limitless prosperity even further. Share your thoughts, breakthroughs, or questions as you practice rooting abundance, and remember to stay connected with our Intentional Prosperity channel for more insights that will inspire your continued growth. Chapter 3: Clearing Blocks to Prosperity. Have you ever wondered why abundance seems to flow easily into some people's lives, while for others it shows up in tiny trickles, if at all? Imagine standing in front of a beautiful river, watching as clear, glistening water rushes by. Now picture what would happen if that river were suddenly cluttered with fallen branches, boulders, or walls built up over years. The water, rich with life and movement, could only squeeze through the smallest openings. You might not see them, but each obstacle restricts the river's natural abundance, and suddenly, what should flow freely now arrives only as a reluctant drip. This is exactly what happens with prosperity in our lives. Old thought patterns and hidden beliefs block our experience of wealth, success, or joy long before any external barrier could possibly hinder us. Most people journey through life carrying invisible burdens, stories, or rules handed down by others or constructed from past pains and disappointments. Maybe you silently repeat the idea that you're never good enough, or that money is always just out of reach. If compliments make you uncomfortable, or you find yourself shrinking away from genuine opportunities, you may have internalized beliefs that prosperity is for others, not you. These blocks can show up as self-doubt, constant worry about the future, guilt for wanting more, or the habit of putting others' needs ahead of your own at the expense of your own happiness. No matter how hard you work or how much you achieve, if these mental and emotional barriers remain unquestioned, they act as filters that limit your ability to fully receive the richness of life. Even something as simple as gratitude can feel flat if you're secretly convinced you're undeserving, or if past experiences have taught you that every gain will be met with a loss. What if you could begin to identify and clear these blocks, gently allowing prosperity to move more freely into and through your life? The solution begins with compassionate self-awareness, the practice of noticing these unhelpful patterns without judgment and getting curious about where they came from. Instead of criticizing yourself for having doubts, recognize that everyone has inherited ideas and worries that no longer serve them. By bravely holding these beliefs up to the light, you break their power little by little. It might be as simple as catching yourself in a moment of scarcity thinking, "There's never enough for me," and pausing to ask, "Is that truly the only story available to me?" Each time you create space for a new and kinder perspective, you remove yet another barrier from your inner river of abundance. As you grow more willing to examine and release old stories about who you are and what's possible for you, something profound starts to happen. Self-doubt softens, creativity and hope begin to spark in places shadowed by fear, and gratitude suddenly feels more natural and real. Like clearing debris from a stream, each shift allows more of life's spontaneous gifts, new opportunities, and deeper connections to pour in effortlessly. By daring to believe that lasting prosperity isn't reserved for a lucky few, but is in fact your birthright, you give yourself permission to step into greater courage, joy, and ease. Imagine what you might welcome in if you trusted the river inside was always seeking to flow free. To begin clearing your blocks to prosperity, start by practicing gentle awareness. Each day, take a quiet moment to reflect on any negative or limiting thoughts that pop up when you think about abundance, success, or even simple pleasures like compliments and opportunity. Instead of pushing these thoughts away, write them down as they surface. Consider this your opportunity to unearth the roots hiding beneath your surface beliefs. For example, if you notice yourself thinking, "I never seem to be lucky," or "people like me don't get ahead," try to trace that thought back to its source. Did you hear it in childhood, or did it grow from a disappointing experience? Allowing yourself to recognize when and where these ideas began brings power back to you, because identifying a belief is the first step to transforming it. Once you've started to notice your patterns, disrupt them gently by choosing a new narrative. When you find yourself thinking there isn't enough to go around, pause and affirm, "There is more than enough for me too." The key is consistency and patience. Repeat your new, empowering belief each time an old one arises, especially when life throws reminders of past struggles your way. Practice this often, like a muscle that grows stronger with use. To illustrate, let's look at Mark, a small business owner whose family always talked about money as something to be feared or hoarded. For years, Mark avoided risk, held back from celebrating even small wins, and felt guilty investing in his dreams. Through daily reflection and affirmation, Mark named his fears out loud and gradually added a positive voice. "I am safe, and there are endless possibilities ahead." Over time, Mark started to take small, courageous steps, launching new ideas and building relationships that attracted abundance into his business and life. Translating these exercises into your daily life yields significant rewards. You'll notice less mental clutter and more clarity about your abilities. Many find that stress loosens its grip, replaced by motivation and a natural curiosity about life's opportunities. Relationships can also improve, since your openness to receive and give generously draws others toward you. As your old blocks dissolve, life feels easier. The struggle is softened by a flow of genuine gratitude and renewed self-trust. Even when setbacks arise, you'll find yourself responding from a place of possibility instead of resignation. The sensation is like clearing debris from a river. Not only do resources and opportunities move to you with less effort, but you begin to recognize abundance even in unexpected places. If you're ready to deepen this process, try this exercise tonight. Write a letter to yourself from the perspective of your younger self who still fears lack. Then write a compassionate reply from your wiser self today who knows that greater things are possible. Read both letters out loud, savoring your growth and newfound hope. Then revisit these letters anytime you feel old beliefs creeping in. Clearing internal blocks isn't a one-time practice. Rather, it is an ongoing journey that will keep revealing new levels of prosperity and inner peace as you move forward. As you clear these obstacles, the energy of thankfulness becomes even more vibrant within you. In the next chapter, you will discover how to harness this powerful force to uplift every area of your life. I invite you to share your stories or questions about shifting limiting beliefs and to keep nurturing your practice together with the Intentional Prosperity community by subscribing, liking, or leaving your insights to inspire others as we continue on this path toward abundance. Chapter 4: The Energy of Thankfulness. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if every thought of gratitude was more than just a polite routine or quick checklist, if it was instead a powerful force, pulsing through your daily actions and quietly shaping everything around you. What if giving thanks could actually shift the very energy of your home, your relationships, your workspace, and even your own sense of possibility? Many of us sense that gratitude is important, but we might not realize it has a vibrational quality, an energy so strong that it can lift moods, improve outlooks, and transform even the most mundane days into experiences of meaning and connection. Too often, gratitude is mistaken for a fleeting feeling or empty words spoken out of habit. When our hearts aren't truly engaged, thankfulness can feel invisible or inert instead of the living, magnetic power it's meant to be. A persistent challenge for so many is that in the rush of daily life, gratitude easily becomes an afterthought. There are moments when stress, routines, or disappointments overshadow anything good. Maybe you have found yourself mumbling a half-hearted thank you when a colleague helps you or your partner makes a meal, but the sentiment feels automatic, lacking any deeper resonance. Life's worries pile up, and the minor annoyances or letdowns can seem to blot out what is working well. In this atmosphere, even our attempts at gratitude feel too weak to make a difference. We end up feeling disconnected, not just from others, but from our own sources of joy and well-being. Many struggle with an invisible drain on their emotional energy, and therefore miss out on the uplifting power that genuine gratitude naturally offers. There is a transformative solution right within your reach. The energy of thankfulness can be consciously cultivated, turned from a flat word into a living, breathing force that radiates through your acts, attitudes, and intentions. The shift begins the moment you decide to genuinely feel and not simply think or say gratitude. True thankfulness requires presence. When you pause, breathe, and allow yourself to actually feel the weight, value, or gift of a person, opportunity, or experience, something vibrant and warming rushes through your body. With practice, your thankfulness sparkles with life, and you'll begin to notice that both your mood and your surroundings subtly change. This energy is infectious, reaching the people you interact with and returning to you in surprising ways. You may discover conversations are smoother, creative ideas come more easily, and acts of kindness multiply in your orbit. The core idea here is that gratitude is not just an emotional state, it is a frequency or energy that you can amplify. Every heartfelt thank you sends ripples through your environment, creating an atmosphere where problems feel smaller, possibilities expand, and a quiet optimism starts to take root in your perspective. By making space for moments of real appreciation, you harness power to counteract negativity, dissolve tension, and attract uplifting experiences without forcing or manipulating circumstances. Your life does not have to change dramatically for this shift to occur. Even a small change in the energy you bring to daily interactions opens up the potential for extraordinary improvement. Just as heat fills a cold room and transforms its feeling, the energy of gratitude fills your life with warmth, magnetizing more of what you cherish and helping you move through challenges with greater resilience and hope. To consciously increase the energy of thankfulness in your life, begin by making your gratitude more intentional and embodied. Choose one daily activity, pouring your morning coffee, greeting a colleague, or winding down before bed, as your anchor for this shift. When that moment arrives, pause whatever you're doing and place a gentle hand on your heart or take a focused, centering breath. Allow yourself a few seconds to really feel the sensations and emotions connected with your thanks. Picture what your life would be like without that comforting ritual or person, and then let a sense of appreciation rise within you. Speak your thankfulness out loud or silently, channeling your awareness into the present moment and letting it fill your body. This small act will transform an automatic thanks into something living and vibrant that resonates far beyond the words themselves. You can also heighten thankfulness energy in moments shared with others. If you usually rush through conversations or respond to gestures from loved ones without thinking, try making a point to look people in the eyes when you thank them. Smile, express a specific detail of what you appreciate, and allow your tone to convey genuine warmth. Consider Emily, who often breezed through her busy workday with quick, formulaic replies to her team's efforts. When she began pausing at the end of meetings to sincerely appreciate a colleague's creativity or commitment, she noticed morale improvement and greater trust in her workplace. Recognition became easier for others to give and receive, boosting cooperation and atmosphere. Or take James, who hugged his children with intention each night, voicing gratitude for their laughter and presence. These moments deepened bonds and transformed his home into a haven of comfort, enabling him to better manage stress. Repeating these mindful acts regularly strengthens your emotional resilience. You'll begin to experience a greater sense of calm when challenges arise, as the energy of gratitude helps reduce anxiety and prevents negativity from dominating your mood. This energetic quality ripples out. You may see others respond more positively, and you'll often attract more reasons for joy into your own life. You will find daily frustrations are less sticky. Setbacks feel easier to overcome. Furthermore, by sending this elevated energy outward, you become a catalyst for positive change in your family, workplace, and community. Opportunities for support or inspiration find you more readily because people align themselves with individuals who exude warmth and rooted positivity. Before long, the habit of charged, authentic gratitude becomes a natural part of who you are, not just something you do. To consolidate this practice, try a simple exercise every evening this week. Write down the most powerful moment of gratitude you noticed that day, whether you gave it, received it, or simply felt it deeply. Reflect on how this energy shaped your emotions and surroundings. Observe any patterns and let this awareness inspire you to explore deeper vibrations of thankfulness as you move forward. Remember, your journey toward greater abundance flows directly through these moments of energetic gratitude. Let the momentum carry you. Looking ahead, you'll soon discover that gratitude doesn't just uplift your energy, it fundamentally shapes your reality in lasting ways. The next chapter will show how a grateful mindset serves as a lens, profoundly coloring what you see and attract. Keep connecting with the Intentional Prosperity community as you deepen your practice. Share your experiences below, subscribe for more empowering insights, and invite others to benefit alongside you on this journey. Chapter 5. Gratitude Shapes Your Reality. What if every time you practice gratitude, you were quietly sculpting the world you experience? Picture for a moment that your mindset is like a lens. Depending on its clarity and focus, the entire landscape before you shifts and changes. Through that lens, the very same day can seem either sunny and filled with opportunity or overwhelmed by shadows and obstacles. Most people don't realize how much power they hold simply by choosing which thoughts and feelings gain the most attention. You may think life just happens to you, and gratitude is merely an emotional response to random bits of good fortune. But the truth is, thankfulness is a creative force, one that gently, persistently molds how you perceive yourself, others, and every possibility in front of you. It's easy to miss this power. The modern world feeds us a stream of stressful stories that highlight every limitation. It's common to wake up weighed down by emails, bills, or negative headlines, immediately primed to notice only what's lacking or painful. Many of us fall into the trap of seeing each day as a series of problems to fix and gaps to fill. Even small setbacks can spiral into frustration, as your mind magnifies annoyances and overlooks victories, beauty, or relief along the way. This pattern isn't evidence of personal weakness, it's human nature, yet it leaves you susceptible to disappointment and the belief that happiness always exists somewhere just out of reach. Slowly, daily life becomes a struggle instead of an unfolding adventure, and your mental energy drains into worry, resentment, or self-doubt. The transformative solution is refreshingly simple and wonderfully within your power. Train yourself to shape your experience each day by bringing the lens of gratitude into sharp focus. Instead of letting your attention wander to whatever is loudest or most unsettling, become purposeful about where you direct your awareness. When flashes of frustration or jealousy arise, meet them with a conscious pivot towards something positive, a lesson learned, a comfort enjoyed, or a small joy discovered. With time and repetition, this practice does more than merely lift your mood in the moment. It gradually tilts your entire sense of reality, allowing gratitude to filter in like morning sunlight. Shadows linger, but your eyes begin searching for what's bright instead. This shift is not about ignoring hardships or faking smiles. Rather, it's about reclaiming your ability to interpret events with hope and resourcefulness. When you shape your reality through gratitude, setbacks lose some of their sting because you see value and wisdom waiting beneath the surface. You recognize gifts in unlikely places, the kindness of a stranger, the insight unlocked by a challenge, or the beauty found in a long walk after a difficult day. You start looking for these treasures, and almost by magic, you find them everywhere you turn. By building this gratitude-focused mindset, you give yourself permission to dwell in possibility, resilience, and joy, even as the outside world remains unpredictable. This is how gratitude becomes your greatest creative ally, endlessly refining the masterpiece of your everyday life. To bring the power of gratitude into focus and truly shape your reality, it helps to integrate practical steps into your daily routine. Begin by setting a clear intention each morning. Tell yourself that you will actively look for things to appreciate, no matter how small they might seem at first glance. As you move through your day, pause whenever you notice yourself gravitating toward complaint or discouragement. In that moment, gently redirect your thoughts and consciously choose one detail to be grateful for. It might be the support of a colleague during a challenging project, the weather as you step outdoors, or simply a moment of quiet with your coffee. You can set silent reminders on your phone at intervals, each one prompting you to stop, look for something good, and give thanks for it, no matter the circumstances. To make this practice more grounded and enduring, consider keeping a visible gratitude journal, or even using sticky notes throughout your workspace or home. For example, consider Rebecca, a teacher who felt overwhelmed by endless demands and difficult interactions at work. Every afternoon, without fail, she listed 3 positive moments from her classroom on a sticky note, posting them by her doorway. These small reminders greeted her each morning, helping her connect with a sense of purpose and joy beneath the surface challenges. Or look at 4 friends who created a gratitude chain, texting each other every night with one thing they appreciated from the day. Not only did this ritual bond them together more deeply, but it reshaped their daily conversations away from negativity, making optimism a shared habit and creating a powerful support system. As gratitude shapes your reality, you'll start to notice tangible changes. The tough days may not disappear, but your perspective transforms them into opportunities for growth, learning, or connection rather than defeats. The process seems simple, but its impact accumulates in remarkable ways. You'll likely develop increased resilience, finding it easier to recover from disappointments. People will often respond to your positive energy, creating new momentum and relationships that support your higher aspirations. Your internal dialogue will shift toward encouragement rather than criticism, making personal and professional goals feel more attainable. This mindset also helps soften anxiety about the future, freeing you to focus on the parts of today within your influence, a gift of empowerment that leads to far greater satisfaction over time. Now is the perfect time to try an exercise that will solidify this new lens. For 1 week, every evening before bed, write down a single situation from the day that initially caused disappointment, irritation, or stress. Underneath that initial reaction, look for a meaning or blessing hidden in that experience. Even when it seems hard, ask yourself, what can I be grateful for in this moment? Over a few days, your mind will grow quick at shifting from reaction to reflection, helping you reframe setbacks into seeds for gratitude and resilience. Renew this practice as often as needed, and watch your reality transform, one lens shift at a time. In the coming chapter, you will discover how learning to receive with deep appreciation creates even greater space for abundance to enter your life. Stay connected with Intentional Prosperity for more practical guidance and inspiration. Share your gratitude breakthroughs, insights, and any reflections below to help uplift others as we continue building a life of purpose together. Chapter 6: Receiving with Deep Appreciation. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, are you as skilled at receiving as you are at giving? Imagine being handed an unexpected gift or compliment. Does your heart instantly open with delight, or do you instinctively minimize, deflect, or explain it away? Many people find themselves far more comfortable giving support, praise, or assistance than humbly and gratefully receiving it. Yet true abundance can only fully flourish when we learn to receive with deep appreciation, not just in material gifts, but in love, kindness, opportunities, and experiences life brings our way. For so many, the act of receiving triggers discomfort. Perhaps a nagging voice whispers that you haven't earned this generosity, or old habits prompt you to downplay what's offered. Sometimes it's simply the fear of appearing selfish, weak, or undeserving that clouds your heart, quietly closing the door to life's richer blessings. This struggle is more common than you might think. Almost everyone has at some time felt a twinge of embarrassment when receiving recognition at work, or hesitated to say yes when someone offered help during a tough week. For others, the discomfort shows up in relationships. A loving gesture from a partner makes you feel awkward, or praise from a friend is quickly rejected with a self-deprecating response. Over time, these little acts of resistance accumulate, creating an unseen barrier that keeps genuine abundance just out of reach. Instead of embracing the gifts, compliments, or support freely offered, you might respond by shrinking back, sidestepping the moment, or secretly worrying about what you're expected to give in return. Sadly, such reflexes can unintentionally teach those around you that their giving isn't truly valued, gently dimming the light of generosity in your world. The transformative solution to this scarcity spiral is cultivating the ability to receive, truly and deeply, with appreciation rather than with guilt, suspicion, or self-doubt. To receive well is a skill worth developing, one that signals to yourself and the universe that you are prepared and willing to let abundance flow through your life as freely as you offer it. Deep appreciation isn't forced or showy. It requires presence, humility, and a willingness to let yourself be cared for, even momentarily. When you accept a gift, praise, care, or opportunity with open-handed thankfulness, you acknowledge your worthiness and create space for even more goodness to enter your life. The heart of this solution is as simple as it is powerful. Receiving is not a passive act, but an active one. It's about seeing and honoring the intention behind every offer, allowing yourself to feel genuine gratitude, and letting your appreciation be felt by both you and the giver. When you consistently meet what's given with loving acceptance, you foster closer connections, inspire further generosity in others, and model to family, friends, or colleagues that it's safe and beautiful to accept kindness. Over time, this welcoming mindset will invite more emotional richness and practical abundance into your world. It becomes a subtle magnet, drawing in opportunities, supportive relationships, and unforeseen blessings that strengthen your confidence and capacity for joy. To embrace the art of receiving with deep appreciation, begin by making a conscious commitment to pause and fully notice when generosity comes your way. Each time someone offers you a compliment, help, or even a simple act of kindness, allow yourself a breath to absorb the moment rather than rushing to brush it off. Next, practice responding with simple, genuine words of thanks, such as "Thank you, that means a lot to me," or "I really appreciate your help." Let the gratitude land in your heart and in your response, resisting the urge to diminish your worth or justify the need for the help. Beyond verbal appreciation, deepen the experience by making eye contact, smiling with sincerity, and openly accepting the gesture for what it is, a moment of connection and care. For example, imagine Maya, a manager who often redirected praise by downplaying her contributions. After deciding to welcome recognition with gratitude and a warm acknowledgement, she began to notice a transformation in her team. Encouragement flowed more freely, working relationships grew richer, and collaboration became smoother because everyone felt their gifts were seen and valued. Consider also Alex, who, when struggling with illness, used to apologize when friends brought support. When he shifted to thank them with heartfelt acceptance, he saw those friendships deepen, and support became a two-way street rather than a burdensome favor. As this skill grows, look for opportunities to practice receptive gratitude in daily life, not just for major events, but for small gestures, an extra effort from a coworker, thoughtful words from a neighbor, or unexpected encouragement from a friend. It can help to keep a daily record, jotting down each act of kindness or abundance you allow yourself to truly receive and savor. Over time, this will expand your awareness of how much support and generosity surrounds you, even in ordinary moments. You'll likely discover that this practice boosts your self-esteem, because it reinforces the belief that you deserve both giving and receiving. The benefits ripple outward. Relationships strengthen as mutual appreciation circulates. New opportunities emerge as you show readiness to say yes, and inner doubts are replaced by a quiet courage rooted in worthiness. To invite more abundance, try a practical exercise tonight. Reflect on 3 recent moments when someone tried to offer you anything positive. be it praise, help, a physical gift, or even a listening ear. Ask yourself honestly how you responded. Without judgment, consider how you can open up even a little more the next time you're in that position, allowing yourself to receive with visible and vocal appreciation. Set an intention for tomorrow. When generosity crosses your path, welcome it fully and let your thankful energy linger. Learning to receive deeply is a foundational part of attracting more goodness into your life. In the next chapter, you'll learn how to amplify the blessings you recognize and receive by harnessing the powerful ability to focus your attention. Share your experiences, questions, or celebrations of receiving with our intentional prosperity community. Subscribe to stay inspired, leave a like if this empowered you, and comment with your stories or suggestions as we continue growing a grateful, abundant life together. Chapter 7: Amplifying Blessings Through Focus. Have you ever noticed how what you focus on seems to multiply in your life? Picture this: your attention acts like a magnifying glass, bringing objects closer and into sharper detail. When you point the glass toward your challenges, every flaw and frustration looks bigger and more overwhelming. But when you deliberately center your gaze on blessings and gifts, even the smallest positives flourish and come alive. This isn't just a clever metaphor. There's profound truth here. Most people underestimate how much their reality is shaped, improved, or hindered by the direction of their daily attention. In a world full of noise, demands, and distractions, it's remarkably easy to drift through the day without choosing what truly deserves your conscious focus. The real struggle happens when blessings become so familiar that they slide into the backdrop of your routine. The warmth of a home, a loving message from a friend, or the opportunity to greet a new sunrise can all be swallowed by worry or repetition. Important moments are easily missed, while your energy is spent replaying mistakes, anxieties, or unfinished tasks. You might find yourself at the end of a busy week wondering where all the goodness went. Why, despite your effort, it's easier to remember setbacks than successes. This experience drains hope, dulls enthusiasm, and keeps you stuck in a cycle of always searching for more, rather than truly appreciating and utilizing what you already possess. The blur of constant motion masks your growth and prevents your blessings from blossoming into something even greater. There is, however, a liberating solution available to you right now. Intentionally focusing on your blessings allows you to recognize, amplify, and multiply the abundance in your life. It means slowing the pace long enough to become present with what is good, practicing active gratitude, and refusing to let small wonders blend into the background. You become an artist, highlighting the beauty on your unique canvas, rather than letting it be lost beneath relentless brushstrokes of doubt or distraction. This shift isn't difficult or reserved for those with perfect lives. It's a mindset that anyone can nurture with simple, purposeful acts each day. You direct your attention, not just your circumstances. The more you highlight what's positive, the easier it becomes to find evidence of your own strength, the care offered by others, and the opportunities quietly waiting to grow. The core idea behind this practice is both empowering and transformative. By amplifying your blessings through conscious focus, you expand your sense of abundance and boost your ability to thrive. Your gratitude becomes a spotlight, guiding your attention to things that nurture, encourage, and inspire you. This opens you to even more goodness, emotionally, mentally, and often tangibly. Focusing intentionally, rather than letting your attention drift at the mercy of wherever life pushes you, leads to clearer problem-solving, deeper appreciation for relationships, and an inner resilience that keeps you steady through inevitable challenges. When you choose where to aim your focus, your world shifts, and the seeds of abundance you water every day start to yield richer fruit. Begin amplifying blessings in your life by first establishing a mindful daily ritual. As soon as you wake, take a few breaths to center yourself, and then quickly name 3 positives that grace your life right in that moment. This could be anything from the softness of your pillow to the quiet peace of morning air or thoughts of loved ones nearby. Challenge yourself during the day to consciously notice good things as they happen. Even the smallest gestures, like the taste of your food, help from a stranger, or a striking bit of sunlight on your path, Each time you pause to mentally spotlight these blessings, you're training your mind to scan for and collect the positives, reinforcing your perception of abundance. It also helps to make your gratitude visible. Consider an example from Antonio, who often felt overwhelmed by his busy schedule and forgotten successes. He created a blessings board in the heart of his home where anyone could jot down something good that happened: a meal shared, an unexpected smile, or a finished task that brought relief. After a few weeks, Antonio and his family were surprised by how much beauty and generosity filled their days. Checking the board became a joyful ritual, and their focus shifted from stress to small wins, nurturing optimism and togetherness. Similarly, treat your calendar or planner as a daily record not only of tasks, but also of blessings. Before bed, Sylvia noted one uplifting moment alongside her to-do list, whether it was a productive meeting or a heartfelt compliment. Over time, Sylvia reported sleeping better and feeling less anxious, because her mind was filled with reminders of gratitude, not just looming demands. Attempt to bring others into your blessing focus as well. Tell a coworker about something they did that made your day easier. Thank your partner or friend for simple, everyday support. When you verbalize and share what you notice, you uplift not only your own spirit, but also those around you. These conversations create a ripple of gratitude that naturally invites more kindness, support, and cooperation. You may be astonished by how quickly this elevated energy shifts the culture of your home or workplace, transforming complaints into laughter, building deeper empathy, and increasing resilience in challenging times. One empowering exercise to begin today is designating a blessings window. For 5 quiet minutes, sit in a comfortable place, set aside distractions, and gaze through a literal or metaphorical window into your day. In your mind, replay moments, searching deliberately for points of light, achievement, connection, or relief. Make a habit of recording your discoveries and reviewing them every week. Notice not only what fills you with gratitude, but the patterns that arise. Who are your supporters? What activities regularly restore you? And where unexpected abundance shows up? The more you consciously amplify your blessings, the more they multiply and shape every area of your life. Looking ahead, you'll soon learn how thankfulness moves far beyond mere circumstance to become the seedbed of true wealth and lasting prosperity. Engage with the Intentional Prosperity community for continued growth. Subscribe and share your favorite blessings or tips, and inspire the journey for yourself and others as we welcome even more abundance together. Chapter 8: From Thanks to True Wealth. Have you ever wondered what separates the experience of temporary pleasure from the deep, enduring satisfaction of true wealth? Imagine waking each morning with a full heart, not because of a windfall or a rare stroke of luck, but because you genuinely sense abundance in your life, regardless of what your bank statement reads. Many chase wealth as if it were a finish line, believing that more money or possessions will finally silence their worries and light up their days. But as countless stories and quiet moments reveal, having more doesn't always translate into feeling fulfilled. Instead, without a shift in perspective, people often move the goalpost farther with every gain, hungry for what's next and rarely at peace with what is. The core challenge is that most of us have inherited a definition of wealth that centers solely on external achievements: how much you accumulate, how large your house is, or what brand names you wear. With this narrow vision, you may find yourself measuring your worth and success by standards that change constantly and, too often, leave you feeling restless or insecure. Even after reaching a hard-fought milestone, a sense of not enough can linger quietly in the background. Social pressures, comparison to others, and fear of losing what you have can drain joy out of any accomplishment, leaving your spirit weary despite outward progress. People become tangled in anxiety that their resources could disappear or that someone else will outpace them, which makes enjoyment of any abundance short-lived and fraught with dissatisfaction. Yet, there is a liberating and powerful alternative available to everyone: the path from simple gratitude to true wealth. This approach reframes abundance not as a number or external marker, but as an inner condition you can nurture daily, regardless of circumstances. True wealth grows from the habit of appreciating life's gifts, turning each instance of thankfulness into an anchor for well-being. Instead of chasing fulfillment in outside circumstances that you often can't control, you focus on cultivating an internal richness that radiates into every aspect of your world. This shift does not mean you ignore financial or practical goals. It means you bring them into harmony with appreciation for the blessings already around and within you. When you embrace this more expansive view, your attitude toward resources large and small changes completely. You start to find meaning and satisfaction in what once felt ordinary or scarce. A shared meal, an afternoon of laughter with friends, health that allows you to move and create, the inspiration that comes with even modest successes, all become markers of abundance in your daily life. It is gratitude that unlocks the sense of being wealthy now, no matter your balance sheet. By intentionally choosing to see and honor these moments as real wealth, you develop a quiet confidence, more resilience to life's shifts, and a deeper connection to authentic happiness. This is the kind of rich living that grows and lasts, illuminating each day from the inside out. To begin transforming simple thankfulness into a foundation of true wealth, start by intentionally redefining what abundance means for you each morning. Before you even leave your bed, pause and ask yourself, what riches already exist in my world today? List them: your health, your relationships, your skills, or simply the quiet comfort of a new dawn. Each time you focus your mind on these inner stores of value, you strengthen your ability to spot abundance everywhere. Let your first thought set the tone by counting what you have, rather than starting the day chasing what you lack. As you practice, you may notice your anxiety over money or possessions softening, replaced by a calm certainty that your life is already filled with blessings. Practically, you might want to create a wealth journal specifically for recording the moments and experiences that reflect real abundance in your life. Instead of tracking expenditures or making lists of future purchases, document moments when you felt happy, safe, creative, or cared for. For instance, think of Elise, who introduced this journaling habit after many years of financial stress. At first, she noted only small joys: her breakfast, music in the kitchen, or a friend's supportive call. Gradually, her sense of satisfaction grew, influencing how she approached work and opportunity. When she was offered a challenging project at her job, she didn't react with fear or self-doubt, but welcomed it as another form of abundance. Over time, Elise found herself attracting new possibilities, building stronger friendships, and feeling less pressured to acquire things for validation. Extend this mindset to your everyday interactions. When someone is generous with their time, encouragement, or affection, acknowledge it as part of your wealth, and allow yourself to feel richer because of your connections. If you volunteer, cook for your loved ones, or share advice with friends, recognize that you are not only giving but participating in the exchange of community wealth. Each act, no matter how modest, adds to your emotional and relational prosperity. David, a young father, realized his real wealth wasn't measured by savings alone. The bedtime routines with his child, the efforts to support his partner, and the small but sincere thank yous shared each night made their home flourish, even during times of financial uncertainty. True wealth for David came to mean security built on trust, laughter, and shared experience rather than only numbers on a screen. To deepen your own journey, set aside a rich living moment daily, a time to intentionally savor simple pleasures and remind yourself they are signposts of true wealth. Whether it is drinking tea while reflecting on your day, enjoying a sincere hug, or celebrating a goal reached, focus your whole attention on how it feels to be abundant in that moment. Make it a family or friend ritual if you wish, by sharing aloud one form of wealth you have noticed each evening. Over time, this habit ingrains an unshakable trust that your value runs deeper than any surface measurement. As you continue this transformation, you'll step naturally into practices for embodying abundance every single day, which is the focus of our next chapter. Keep nurturing your sense of wealth from within and invite others to do the same. Share your experiences with our Intentional Prosperity community, subscribe for ongoing support and inspiration, and let others know how you're shifting from thankfulness to true, lasting richness in your life. Chapter 9, Embodying Abundance Daily. Imagine what your life would feel like if abundance were not just a passing thought, a lucky windfall, or a brief moment of luck, but an everyday experience woven through your choices, your words, and the way you carry yourself. What if, even on stressful days, you exuded the richness of someone who feels genuinely prosperous, not pretending, not straining, but radiating the security and joy that comes with inner abundance? The idea of daily abundance might feel distant when so much of life encourages routine and repetition, urging us to focus on obligations, what's lacking, or what's yet undone. But real transformation happens when abundance is no longer treated as an event to look forward to, but as a daily practice, rooted in how you see and respond to your world, moment by moment. The challenge for many people is maintaining this sense of plenty in the middle of daily pressures. You might begin a morning with good intentions and positive thoughts, only to have your energy drained by present worries, unexpected setbacks, or the sheer monotony of tasks and responsibilities. It is common to slip back into focusing on deficits, what didn't work, what's still missing, or what could go wrong. Instead of carrying a mindset of gratitude or possibility, the weight of everyday life leads you to see limitations everywhere, shrinking your feeling of abundance until it feels like something rare or hard-earned. This struggle is especially pronounced during times of uncertainty, when fears about money, health, or the future cloud your ability to recognize the gifts you actually possess. But there is a concrete, uplifting way forward. You can learn to embody abundance through small, consistent actions and mindful presence in all that you do. The key is to anchor your attention to the gifts of the current moment and actively choose thoughts and behaviors that reflect prosperity, even before outside conditions seem to change. By consciously embodying abundance, you move gratitude from your head into your body, speech, attitude, and interactions. It means allowing your posture, your tone of voice, and your decisions to express the belief that you are enough and have enough right now. When you smile at others, speak encouraging words, or invest your time generously, you become a walking signal of thankfulness and hope, benefiting not just yourself, but everyone around you. At its core, this skill transforms the passive experience of feeling grateful into the dynamic act of living abundantly. It's the difference between only saying thank you when good things happen and using every situation, pleasant or tough, as fertile soil for appreciation, creativity, and positive response. When you adopt this practice, you give yourself permission to fully participate in life's richness, no matter what external circumstances arise. Problems still occur, but they lose their power to define you because your sense of prosperity runs deeper than momentary setbacks. The more you embody abundance daily, the more your outlook, relationships, and even your opportunities shift in response to your renewed energy and presence. This is lasting abundance, not something to chase, but a way of being you in habit wherever you go. To consistently embody abundance, start with the simple but powerful action of claiming an abundance anchor for your morning. Each day, as you begin your routine, identify one physical gesture, word, or ritual that reminds you of prosperity. Perhaps standing tall as you stretch, placing your hand on your heart, and saying, "I have enough," or writing 3 observations of beauty in your life. By repeating this anchor at the very start of each day, you cue both your mind and your body to expect and welcome abundance in its many forms, regardless of what follows. As you move through your day, reinforce this mindset in interactions and choices, whether that means offering genuine praise to a colleague, savoring a nourishing meal, or pausing to express gratitude for non-material successes such as your resilience or patience in stressful moments. Think of Thomas, who struggled for years with self-doubt at work. He began to carry a small, smooth stone in his pocket as a tactile reminder. Every time he felt nervous or frustrated, he held the stone and whispered, "This moment holds possibility." Soon his reactions shifted. Rather than shrinking away from problems, he began using them as chances to practice gratitude and resourcefulness, and as a result, his confidence and relationships at work flourished. Another real example comes from Amara, a single parent constantly battling to provide for her family. She decided to create a daily ritual with her children, where they each named one thing that made them feel rich, not in money, but in love, creativity, health, or friendship. These few minutes every night deepened her family's sense of connection and made both struggles and triumphs feel shared. Over time, even on nights when money was tight or schedules overwhelming, her family saw themselves as abundant and supported. Abundance began to feel less reliant on what they could buy and more about how much kindness and strength they could give and receive. You too can take this spirit into the world through mindful, generous action. Give your time, smile, ideas, or support freely, knowing that true wealth is multiplied by sharing. When you treat everyone you meet as worthy allies or partners in growth, your network of abundance grows wider each day. Genuine abundance shifts you from a protective, closed-off stance to an open, engaged one, empowering new opportunities and connections that were once invisible. Even on challenging days, coming back to your anchor keeps the flow strong. Try the following exercise for the next week. At a set time each afternoon, pause and ask, how am I living abundance right now? Record at least one way you have embodied generosity, gratitude, or optimism. This practice builds a pattern of active participation in your own prosperity, guiding you to recognize and expand abundant moments until they color your whole experience. As you see and live abundance more clearly each day, the gateway opens to an even more powerful flow. In the next chapter, you'll discover how to align your life more deeply with that prosperous energy, allowing it to carry you forward in ways that feel effortless and rewarding. Keep sharing your progress and insights with the Intentional Prosperity community. Subscribe for the next wave of inspiration, and let your story encourage others to step fully into their own life of daily abundance. Chapter 10. Aligning with Prosperous Flow. What would your life look like if you stopped pushing against the current of stress and scarcity and instead learned how to move with the natural rhythm of prosperity? Imagine each day as a flowing river, not a rigid track. Sometimes the water moves swiftly and opportunities come with ease. Other times the current softens, offering a chance to rest, learn, or reflect before life surges forward again. Living in alignment with this prosperous flow is very different from constantly striving, forcing outcomes, or battling through each obligation. Unfortunately, most people grow up believing that abundance must be fought for, that success only arrives through hard struggle, or that relaxation is a sign of laziness or missed opportunity. These beliefs keep us fatigued, always bracing for the next wave of setback or disappointment, never fully able to trust in a larger supportive current underneath our efforts. The reality is that this mindset, one based on pushing, forcing, and endless striving, creates resistance inside us. When we feel we have to control every detail or make things happen through sheer willpower, it's easy to miss doors opening right in front of us. Stress builds, patience wears thin, and disappointment piles up as results don't match expectations. Many people begin each week hopeful, only to feel burned out or discouraged as plans collide with circumstances beyond their control. Even small blessings get overlooked because our focus is narrowed by struggle and self-doubt. Worse yet, when something does work out, it often feels like brief luck rather than a wave we can ride again. But there's a gentler, far more effective way forward. You can align yourself with prosperous flow by learning to notice and trust that life is always moving with you, not against you. This shift means replacing strained effort with mindful responsiveness, being alert to clues, signals, and synchronicities that gently point the way toward what's right for you. Instead of grip and grind, it's about leaning into the stream of opportunities, intuition, and unexpected help that comes when you stay open, flexible, and grateful, even in uncertainty. The core idea is to retrain your focus from scarcity and not enough towards signs of support, progress, and sustainable momentum. When you practice, you start releasing what is out of your control and placing energy where it flows most naturally for you, rather than where you believe it should. The result is greater ease, more enjoyment, and a subtle magnetism that makes positive change feel lighter and more sustainable. When you align with prosperous flow, you stop seeing life as a series of disconnected hurdles and begin appreciating how each moment connects, builds, and prepares you for what's next. You develop a graceful confidence, trusting that sometimes slowing down or letting go is exactly what will bring the next breakthrough. You experience fewer blocks, not because challenges disappear, but because you see setbacks as guidance, redirections, or even pauses meant to help you regain clarity and strength. As this deeper trust builds, your sense of well-being grows, and genuine abundance becomes more than a fleeting experience. It turns into a steady current shaping your entire life. To bring yourself into alignment with prosperous flow, begin by inviting stillness into your everyday routine. Carve out a few moments each morning to close your eyes, deepen your breathing, and tune into the subtle pace of your thoughts and body. Notice if you are tense, restless, or driven by worry, and quietly assure yourself that you no longer need to show up for your day with a frantic or scattered energy. This small ritual sets the intention that your actions will be guided by a sense of trust instead of resistance. As you ease into wakefulness, ask yourself, where is the current moving in my life today? Where do I sense ease, movement, or nudges toward growth? Throughout the day, commit to releasing control where possible and watching for gentle, guiding signals instead of pushing against every obstacle. Implement a pause and ask practice. Whenever a problem arises or you find yourself forcing a solution, physically step back or take a slow breath, then ask, is there another direction I feel drawn to? Is there support or insight I might be missing because I'm focused only on one path? Take the example of Jenna, who was struggling in her job search. Instead of continuing to apply blindly out of desperation, she paused, noticed her true excitement around creative projects, and felt drawn to explore freelance opportunities she'd previously dismissed. When she followed these inspirations, doors began opening, and she discovered fulfilling work that came naturally and with less frustration. Another effective step is to practice conscious gratitude for moments of flow, no matter their size. When you notice things coming together with less effort, an unexpected invitation, a solution that appears amidst confusion, or even a spontaneous moment of clarity, pause and anchor it in your memory. Thank the moment and consider how you can lean further into these experiences. Mark, for instance, began highlighting these ease-filled moments in a small notebook on his desk. Over time, rereading these entries deepened his trust in the process, and even challenging days came to feel more purposeful and less overwhelming. The benefits of realigning yourself in this way are both immediate and cumulative. You may at first notice a relief from tension, or brief glimpses of inspiration in what once seemed ordinary. Gradually, you'll see that solutions or opportunities appear with greater frequency, and your relationships improve because you're more open, patient, and receptive to what others bring. Daily life gains a sense of coherence, as if every experience is gently preparing and guiding you to where you're truly meant to be. Put this principle into practice tonight. Choose one area of life where you feel especially stuck or tense, and sit quietly with the intention of noticing any movement, insight, or support being offered in that situation. Then, write down the first gentle next step you feel inspired to take, no matter how small, and commit to following that nudge tomorrow. Practice returning to this approach whenever you feel blocked, and watch for positive shifts in your external and inner worlds. Your ability to align with prosperous flow is itself a source of abundance, setting the groundwork for the next stage of your journey, manifesting greater outcomes with intentional, grateful action. Prepare to discover how your grateful heart and aligned mindset can translate into powerful momentum in the next chapter. Stay engaged with the Intentional Prosperity community by subscribing, adding your thoughts, and encouraging those around you in their pursuit of ease, flow, and abundance. Chapter 11. Manifesting through Grateful Action. What if you could turn every feeling of gratitude into a catalyst for tangible change and meaningful results in your life? Imagine the possibilities if instead of gratitude being just a warm feeling that fades after a moment, it became the driving force behind your daily actions and decisions. So many people are taught to view gratitude only as a passive state, an inner smile, a quiet reflection kept to oneself. But there's a deeper power waiting to be unlocked when gratefulness is made active, becoming the foundation from which purposeful and inspired steps naturally emerge. Each thank you, each sense of appreciation can be transformed into real-world progress, new opportunities, and outcomes that multiply your abundance. The challenge comes when well-intentioned gratitude gets trapped within thoughts but never leads to action. It's common to spend a few moments each day listing reasons to be thankful, yet still feel stuck or frustrated when your goals remain out of reach. Many fall prey to the belief that positive thinking alone will magically change external circumstances, but then feel let down when success or prosperity appears stubbornly slow to materialize. Others may find themselves paralyzed by doubt, unsure how to translate hope and appreciation into forward momentum, not realizing that gratitude, when paired with even the smallest step, can become a powerful tool for manifestation and positive transformation. The transformative solution is to bridge the internal power of thankfulness with intentional action. This means moving beyond quiet reflection into practical choices, however modest, that express your appreciation and take you closer to your vision. A grateful mindset makes you more attentive to opportunity, more resilient during setbacks, and more willing to participate fully in the unfolding story of your life. Grateful action starts with an open heart, but matures through courage, consistency, and a willingness to respond to the good already present by amplifying it through what you do. Whether you're seeking professional success, deeper relationships, improved well-being, or creative growth, your willingness to act from gratitude turns the abstract into the actual. At its core, this practice shifts gratitude from an idea to a creative force. For example, instead of just thinking, "I'm grateful for my job," you take time to thank a colleague or take initiative on a challenging project. Rather than simply wishing for stronger connections, you reach out to someone, offer support, or share your genuine appreciation. As you pair intention with effort, you train your brain to recognize openings you once ignored and inspire those around you to join in a positive loop of growth. The benefit is exponential. Even small actions taken from a grateful place attract collaboration, generosity, and new resources. Over time, each move made in gratitude builds momentum, and you'll often discover the path forward appears, one decisive and appreciative step at a time. This is how manifested abundance takes shape, from the inside out, through living grateful action every day. To harness gratitude as a force for real transformation, begin by making your appreciation visible and practical each day. As you move through your morning, identify one blessing, whether it is your health, a job, a relationship, or simply the promise of a new start. Ask, how can I extend gratitude through my actions today? This step might mean offering encouragement to a colleague, reaching for a new responsibility at work, or creating a moment of enjoyment with family. The intention behind even the smallest gesture infuses action with the energy of gratitude, making outcomes richer and more resonant. Take inspiration from Mariah, who had always felt stressed by long commutes but began treating her drive as a daily gratitude ritual. Instead of resenting the time spent in traffic, she called her mother or listened to inspiring podcasts. Over time, her mood improved and the sense of burden lifted. One day, feeling particularly grateful for her supportive manager, Mariah sent a handwritten note expressing her appreciation. This simple action deepened their relationship and sparked conversations about her goals, eventually leading to a new opportunity within the company. It wasn't luck. It was Mariah's willingness to act on appreciation that created space for growth and connection. On the home front, consider James, who decided to turn family meals into intentional celebrations of gratitude. Instead of talking only about the day's frustrations, each family member shared one thing for which they were grateful and one way they could show their thanks before the next meal. These conversations changed the family's atmosphere over time, opening the door to mutual support, understanding, and greater resilience during tough times. Their daily challenges became easier to navigate, and even routine moments felt more meaningful. Apply these strategies yourself by setting a gratitude to action timer on your phone. Once or twice a day, let it remind you to pause and ask, "Have I acted on my gratitude yet?" Respond in real time with a thoughtful gesture. Send a thank you text, share resources, or simply offer a sincere compliment where deserved. You might begin modestly, but these acts, stacked day after day, will shift your reality. Not only does this practice nurture stronger relationships, but it also rewires your sense of what is possible, creating a natural momentum toward your aspirations. For an ongoing exercise, create a grateful action journal for a week. Each night, jot down one action you took that expressed your appreciation and reflect on its effect. Over time, these daily records become a testament to your growth and a wellspring of ideas when you feel stuck or unmotivated. The key is consistency. Small, deliberate acts gradually compound into substantial transformation, not just in your world, but in how you see yourself as an agent of prosperity and kindness. As you step into this rhythm of grateful action, get ready for the final leap, living in a state of consistent overflow, where gratitude and abundance circulate effortlessly through every part of your life. In our next chapter, you'll explore sustaining this elevated state so that you, your dreams, and your community all flourish together. Stay connected by subscribing to the Intentional Prosperity community. Share your victories, discoveries, and suggestions, and encourage others with your journey into manifesting a life full of genuine, grateful achievement. Chapter 12. A Life of Overflow. What would it feel like to wake up each morning knowing that your life is a reservoir of abundance, so full that overflow is now your new normal? Picture your days as streams where gratitude, opportunity, and joy aren't occasional visitors, but constant currents, touching every corner of your experience and even spilling over to enrich others. The vision of a life of overflow sparks more than surface-level hope. It plants the promise that every form of abundance, material, emotional, spiritual, and relational, becomes easier to access when you align your inner beliefs and habits with the boundless generosity of the world itself. Yet, if you're like most, it's natural to wonder if such overflow is even possible, or if it's simply an inspiring ideal meant for others, not for you. People commonly wrestle with feelings of scarcity, or a nagging sense that flow is always temporary, too fragile to last, too good to trust, or inevitably subject to outside forces beyond their control. You might find that even after committing to gratitude practices, setbacks and challenges occasionally leave you doubting whether genuine abundance is sustainable. There can be an underlying fear that with every gain comes the risk of future loss, or that embracing overflow will somehow mean leaving others behind. Perhaps you have experienced cycles in which periods of abundance are followed by worry, guilt, or a retreat back into old patterns of holding tight to what you have. This tension blocks the full experience of overflow and leaves you reacting from a place of caution rather than bold appreciation. The transformative solution is to reframe abundance and overflow as energy that originates within, not as a lucky accident or fleeting event, but as a steady state you create through regular practice, trust, and a conscious willingness to let your blessings serve others as well as yourself. Overflow is not selfish or showy. It is the natural outpouring that happens when your sense of richness is so deeply ingrained that it naturally spills out, extending warmth, generosity, and encouragement to everyone you meet. The process begins by shifting your perspective, reminding yourself daily that the source of your abundance is not external conditions, but your habits of gratitude, giving, and receptivity. Living in overflow requires you to notice and accept the abundance standing right before you, even on days when it feels undeserved or incomplete. Then, rather than clutching or measuring it against past or future experiences, you let gratitude guide you to share more freely, whether that sharing takes the form of kindness, time, encouragement, resources, or simply presence. When you move through life as someone who expects overflow, you become a magnet for further blessings, drawing new growth, friendships, and opportunities into your world. The benefits of adopting this mindset are as profound as they are expansive. You build a sense of security that isn't shaken by changing circumstances, and your interactions become infused with sincerity that others can feel and trust. Every challenge transforms into an opportunity to overflow compassion and resilience, rather than scarcity and withdrawal. As you cement these patterns, you find that your sense of fulfillment arrives more often, not just for you, but for all whose lives touch yours. It is here that abundance is no longer a periodic visitor, but something regular, generous, and deeply sustaining, helping to shape your legacy with each new day. Begin welcoming a life of overflow by integrating a ritual of daily acknowledgement and generous response. Each morning when you rise, intentionally recall 3 areas where your life is noticeably abundant. Don't limit yourself to material gain. Include sources of love, creative spark, learning, or support you've received. As you proceed through your day, set an intention to share each recognized blessing. This could mean reaching out to lift someone else, offering a resource, giving a genuine compliment, or simply being present for a friend in need. For instance, consider Anna, who once kept her good fortune private out of fear and habit. By deciding to regularly share inspiration and encouragement with her coworkers, she witnessed not only a rise in team morale, but a rapid multiplication of creative opportunities at work, reinforcing her own abundance through communal overflow. You might find it useful to keep an overflow ledger, noting not just what you've received, but how you have consciously served or uplifted others. Jim, a retiree feeling isolated after moving to a new city, started volunteering at a local community garden. The choice to contribute his time and knowledge bubbled over into friendships, increased vitality, and a newfound sense of purpose. His ledger grew quickly. Not only was he noting the meals he shared or the flowers he planted, but also reflecting on the gratitude and joy he absorbed in return. Through this lens, every act of giving became an act of receiving, proving that overflow is never a one-way street. External affirmation can speed the process. As you embody overflow, speak about it with those around you. Narrate your blessings to friends or family, and encourage them to do the same. Practice receiving others' gratitude for your kindness without deflection, knowing you are part of a cycle of sustaining positivity. If setbacks arise and doubt or fear threatens your flow, anchor yourself in a simple breathing exercise focused on gratitude, then challenge yourself to immediately take one small action in support or service of another. The result is a swift return to overflow, where your mind releases grip on scarcity and opens wide to circulate more abundance. For a practical exercise, choose a week to dedicate yourself to the Overflow Challenge. Each day, intentionally create an act of kindness or generosity rooted in something you feel grateful for, and document the difference it makes, in you and in others. Whether that action is big or small, the consciousness behind it fuels the expansion of overflow in your life. As you reflect on this journey through daily thanks, daily abundance, unlock limitless prosperity, remember that every step you've practiced, from awakening gratitude and recognizing present abundance, to clearing inner blocks, amplifying blessings, and turning appreciation into active overflow, has built a foundation of sustainable prosperity. Thank you for investing your energy, heart, and hope into creating a life shaped by gratitude and shared abundance. Your willingness to adopt these practical habits not only transforms your world, but inspires the people around you. If this book or video has touched you, please remember to like, comment with your own experiences, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Together, let's expand this powerful ripple of intentional prosperity throughout the world.